Hi everybody, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to make a delicious, crunchy, flavorful refrigerator pickle. This is going to be a pickle that is not shelf stable, so you will not be able to store it in the cupboard. You'll have to keep it in your fridge. You won't have to boil it in a hot water bath in order to cure the pickles or to preserve them. You're going to literally make the brine, add your cucumbers and your herbs, and put it in the fridge to cure, and within a few days you're going to have pickles. These pickles also, though, will have to be eaten within several weeks. I would say don't go more than 3 to maybe 4 weeks without consuming them. Just keep an eye on the smell. But generally, like I'd say 2 to 3 weeks is a good amount of time for you to use up these pickles because they're not shelf stable. They haven't been boiled. They're just fresh pickles that are super crunchy and full of flavor. So let's get started with our ingredients. First, not an ingredient, but equipment we need is a jar. And we also need for our jar the ring for the jar and the lid. So make sure you have a nice clean lid to start. And our ingredients are 1.5 cups of water. I'm using 3 tablespoons of white vinegar, and you can also use apple cider vinegar, but personally for me, I prefer the white vinegar. And also 1.5 tablespoons of kosher salt. So this is a more roughly ground salt. It's not the fine table salt that you use sometimes with your seasoning your meals. You want to make sure you use a kosher salt for this. And also 2 teaspoons of black peppercorns. And these are just like the black pepper you grind to put, again, to season a meal, but these are literally the whole peppercorn. So you don't want to grind them. You want to make sure you're using the whole peppercorn. I like to use 5 cloves of garlic, and I peel them, but I do not chop them. If you like it really garlicky, you might want to smash some of them down. I still wouldn't chop them, but I might smash them with the edge of the knife to get some of the more flavor out. But that'll make them more garlicky. You also need 1 bay leaf, 6 sprigs, pardon me, of dill, fresh dill. And if right now you don't have fresh dill in your garden, or your market didn't have any fresh dill when you made maybe your weekly grocery trip, you can also use dill seed. I think the fresh dill gives it a bit more flavor, but I would say if you have dill seed in your pantry, you could use about 2 teaspoons of the dried dill seed. And then the next thing, obviously, is our cucumbers. So these are English cucumbers, and make sure the outside is unwaxed. You can use any of a number of types of cucumbers. I actually pickled a ton of different kinds, some that they don't say are pickleable. But the English cucumbers are nice and firm. You do want a firm cucumber. So yeah, we said the outside should be unwaxed. And what I do is I just cut a few to the height of my jar to make sure I've got the right size, and then I make sure the rest of mine are all about the same height so they'll easily and neatly fit into my jar. And for this, this plate is about 1.5 of the long English cucumbers, and that will about fill the jar. The other thing you could do is you could do the rounds if you use these more, or you like to have them on sandwiches or things. Certainly you can do these as well, or you can mix both kinds in a jar if you like to have both. So let's get started. So first we're going to put in all of our wet ingredients. So our 1.5 cups of water. Let's see, we'll get that out of the way. Our 3 tablespoons of white vinegar. Our 1.5 tablespoons of kosher salt. Our 2 teaspoons of black peppercorns. Now this is when I'm going to regret the peppercorns. So hopefully they don't go rolling all over my kitchen. And they did not. So success. And my 5 cloves of garlic I will put in now. Okay. What I like to do at this point is just to take a long spoon and mix it up so that the salt dissolves as much as possible, because I don't want the salt sitting right on anything, a big clump of salt sitting on any of my cucumbers. Just like to get it kind of mixed up. You'll see it's quite almost opaque, actually, from all the salt. Okay, so there's that. And now I will put in just a peppercorn there. I will put in my bay leaf. And I will put in, actually I'm going to mix the dill weed in with the cucumber. So I'm going to start putting these in now. So I'll put in several. Let's see. So I have about that much in. And now I'll put in some of the dill just so I can mix it in. Because as you start to stuff your jar, you're really starting to stuff it. So I'll put in a little bit more. And I'm going to put in some more of the cucumber spears and get them in there, all mixed in together. And a few more. And now I'll put in more dill because I like to get that throughout the jar. And some more of the cucumbers, some more of the dill. Ooh, let's push that down. Now I'm going to add a lot more cucumbers to try to get my jar full. And if you have trouble getting them, again, use my spoon and I try to sort of straighten them out in there so that they will go straight down. Okay. There we go. Room for a few more. Maybe I over chopped my cucumber. I should have stuck with one cucumber. No, there's still room here. There's still some room. I like to get them in pretty tight. So here we go. And again, I start to look around on the outer edges to see if there's spots where I have space to squish one more in, one more in. There we go. There one goes. Oopsie. So don't let that happen to you. All right, I think I can fit one more. Can I? Can I? There. There goes one. And let's try for the last one. Let's see, can I get it squeezed in there? And you'll notice your brine starts coming up to cover your pickles, your cucumbers. Right now they're just cucumbers. And then I'm going to put a little bit more of the dill right on top. I have a little bit left here. And squish that down. And this little sprig there, I'll stick that in there too. So that is really it, because now it's just a waiting game for your pickles to cure. So you just want to make sure all your edges are in there and that your brine is covering your cucumbers. And let's put on our, where did I put it? I don't know where I put them. Oh, right there. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to put on our lid and make sure nothing's sticking out. And we're going to put on our ring. And you just want to tighten that down nice. Make sure it's pretty tight. Okay? Now you want to shake it. You want to get all of that brine going throughout all of your cucumbers. And what you're going to do is every, I'd say later in the day, shake it again. Maybe tomorrow morning, shake it again. You want to shake it a few times while it's curing, just to get your flavors mixing throughout. Like the peppercorns are kind of at the bottom. We're trying to get some to the top. I ended up with a lot of garlic on one side, but you want to shake it up so as the flavors are coming out of the herbs and spices, they will circulate through your cucumbers. So that is it. We're going to put this in the fridge. We're going to wait sometimes I like to wait 2 to 3 days, and then they're ready to eat. They're really delicious. They're really crispy. It's kind of a nice thing to have for a family picnic, or if you're starting to grill outside already, because we've had some nice days, it's a nice thing to have when you're grilling. So I hope you'll enjoy making some refrigerator pickles. I really enjoyed sharing this recipe with you, and I'm looking forward to our next time together when we're going to make something else really delicious and exciting, but I won't tell you what. Okay, have a great day. I hope you and your family are healthy and doing well and taking good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.